Good morning and welcome to the ITS Connect session for February. My name is Jennifer Laudiana and I am the Education and Training Specialist in the Information Technology Services Department. Today we're going to talk about SlideRocket, which is a tool that is available to us through our Google Apps for Education license. It is a presentation tool that you can use. It also makes it nice because your presentations are available anywhere, anytime. To get started, I'm going to walk through and do a demonstration of how to use SlideRocket. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that I can walk through it with you. This is available when you log into your email, and I will show you here in a second. So I'm logged in as one of our test users, and her name is Casey. On the top line, if you haven't noticed, on the black bar, all of the different administrative apps that we use. There are also more apps. You'll see a more with a little drop down, and there's a list of more apps. If you go to even more, it will take you to even more apps that we have access to. As part of the Google Apps for Education, we have access to over 38 different applications, so not just email and calendar and IM and things like that. We also have access to other things such as Google Earth, Google Maps, SlideRocket is one of them, YouTube, and a couple of other applications. You can see a full list at help.case.edu by going to the Google Apps section, and there will be a list and it will give you a description of the different kinds of apps that we can use that are not located on the top bar there in your email. So once you click on more, you can see SlideRocket. So if we click on that, it's going to open SlideRocket. As a first-time user, you're actually going to get a licensing agreement page, which since I've been in here already, I'm not getting it for this account, but it will ask you for terms and conditions. You just need to agree and fill that out, and then you won't see that again. Also, the first time you come in, instead of seeing what you see now on your screen, you will actually see a gray box with 3 different options. One of them will say, create a new presentation. The second one will say, import a presentation. And the last will be, look at templates. You're not sure what you want to do. So that will be different from what you're seeing here as a first-time user in SlideRocket. So I'm going to go over the screen that you see here. In the center area, I have all items selected. So I only have one presentation there that I have. If you have more, you will see all of them. So this includes shared presentations as well as your own presentations. New will actually let you create a new presentation in SlideRocket. Import will allow you to import a PowerPoint or PDF presentation. Also on the left, you will see the shared with me. I have nothing there, but these will be only the presentations that are shared with you. This is a really nice tool for collaborating on presentations, having people critique them, review them, sharing them with others that are presenting with you. If there are multiple people doing the same presentation, you can store them here and they can use it as well. Owned by me are only the presentations that I have used and that I'm going to put in there, but I own them. And the last is recently viewed, which is a nice feature. If you have a lot of presentations, you can look at the last few that you viewed and not have to go through all of the different folders. On the bottom, you'll see My Folders. This allows you to organize your presentations however you may like. It works very much like Google Docs or Google Drive. You can create new folders by just clicking on the plus, putting in a name, clicking OK, and then you'll have a new folder there. If you don't create any new folders, they will all show up in the My Presentations folder. You'll also notice that you can use Google Drive with SlideRocket. So if you want to keep your presentations in sync and have them stored here as well as on your computer, you can do that as well. So now that I've gone over this screen, I want to show you how you can use SlideRocket. I'm going to use an existing presentation. So I'm going to import first. It'll give you a choice of importing a PowerPoint or a PDF. PowerPoint is a PowerPoint presentation you've already created. A PDF will actually be converted into a SlideRocket presentation. I'm going to import a PowerPoint. It then asks you if you want it to be editable, which means that you can edit the PowerPoint in SlideRocket and make changes to it, or if you want to import it as an image. If it's imported as an image, it will not be changeable. So keep that in mind. If you are uploading and importing a PowerPoint that has been finalized, you may want to use the images. That way people can't change it. If you are using a PowerPoint that needs changing or might change on an optional regular basis, you may want to use editable, which we're going to use editable today. And then you would select your document. I have one here that I'm going to select. It'll upload it into SlideRocket. It takes a few minutes. And this is actually a Google app through their App Store, but we have access to it for free as part of our Google Apps for Education service. So if you have a public Gmail account, you will not have access to this unless you go through the App Store in order to get access. So it's finishing my import and uploading it. And now it's taking me to a screen that contains all of the things that I can do with my presentation. It gives me statistics and general information about my presentation. Each presentation you have will have a page like this associated with it. So this page is not for all of them. It's only for this particular presentation. So I'm going to walk through this. The preview button works like PowerPoint. So if you want to preview it and click through the slides and look at it, you can use the preview. The edit actually takes you into the editor for SlideRocket. So I'm going to click on edit so that you can see that. Along the top, you'll have your file, edit, slide, arrange, very similar to a PowerPoint optional menu. On the right-hand side, you will have your properties. On the left-hand side, you will have all of these other tools. You can put text in, pictures, videos, import all kinds of things, just like you could using the PowerPoint software as well. A couple of differences. On the bottom, you'll see there are 4 little boxes here. One of them is comments. This allows you to enter comments on your own, or you can actually invite others to comment. This is also something you can make available when we talk about the sharing and collaboration and inviting others. It's something that you can allow as well. When you come into your PowerPoint, you can view those comments and look at what people have to say. So it's a nice tool for collaboration. Again, if you're in a classroom environment and you're doing a group project, if you're on a committee and you're doing a presentation, if you're in a department and you have 3 or 4 people who are working on the same presentation that's going to be presented, the comments feature is very nice for that. Another nice feature is audio. You can add audio to your slides. So through this, you can click on record and it will allow you to start recording. It's going to ask you about Flash Player. I want to allow that. And it will actually, when I hit start recording, which I'm not going to do today, but it will actually record. Then you would stop recording. It'll tell you how long it was. And you'll see across the middle a little gradient that will show you the differences in your voice and where your recording is. So that's nice if you want to record a short little slide video, you want to add some audio, you can use the recording feature. You can also add audio. So if you have audio that you recorded somewhere else, at another time and you want to import that audio into this, you can do that and add it to your slides as well. The history option will allow you to see the history of each slide. So if I had made changes to the slide, maybe added audio, I would be able to see the changes in the history. I would also see the date and time stamp and who changed it. So that's a nice feature if you do have multiple people working on your slide presentation. You can see when it was changed and what the changes were made on each particular slide. The bottom area here is the percentage it is viewing. Right now it's at 78%, so I can see the whole slide on the screen. If I wanted to change that to 100%, or if you were working on graphics and you wanted to look very closely and upload it to 200%, you could do that as well using the drop down here. On the bottom area, you will see 3 little notes here. Preview works the same as it does on the other screen we were on. allows you to preview the presentation. Library will take you back to the very beginning where we had the slide presentations listed that we were using. That is called your library. And also new, this is where I can put in a new slide. If I just click new, it's going to put in a slide for me. I'm going to click on text. I'm going to type something just so that you can get an idea of how this works in the editor. If I want to change anything on the right, you'll see where the text box properties come up. If I want to change that to size 50, oops, I need to highlight it. I want it to be bold. I want it to be size 50. So I've inserted some text there in my slides. And that's how you can add them. And the nice thing is, if you're using the templates, it will keep track of that for you. So it already knew that the template only had the blue slide for the first one, and if I added another one, they were going to be the white and the gray. So that's a nice feature as well. So when I'm done, I want to go ahead, I want to save this version, and what it will do is it will save a new copy. So SlideRocket does version for you, which is really nice. Again, if you're collaborating with others, you can see the date and time stamp. You can revert back to different versions. You could insert versions. Notice on the slide history, you could change versions there as well. I'm going to go back to my slide page. It's going to take me back, and notice I have this inserted slide here because it's going to give me the most recent version of my presentation. So along here, the next tab is the Share tab. This is where you can make it available to others in multiple ways. So you can publish it. Right now mine is private. Only I can see it and work on it. If I want to make it public, I can just change it to public. And it will allow me to get a link if I want to send it to someone. If I want to post the link on a website, I can do that. It will also allow me to get the embedded code. So if I want to allow it on my website, I can change the size of the little thumbnail that will appear, and then I can put the code in and it will take someone, once they click on it, to my presentation. I'm going to change this back to private. Just a reminder, if you do switch back and forth, it actually will tell you that your links will be broken. So if you did use it on a website and you change it back to private, just keep in mind you want to check those links and either turn them off until you create a new presentation or make sure that those who are using that link know that it's not available anymore. On the right-hand side are your promotional tools. You can put in a description on the very front page. We'll be going back there on your home page. There was a box for a description, so if you're using it on a website, you might want to type a little paragraph about what is in the presentation. You can show an outline. You can show the social media buttons. You can also change how the viewer accesses it. You can allow them to use a password that you type in. You can allow them to register. There are a couple of options there for promoting your presentation and your video. If I go to Invite, this is a tool that you can use for collaboration. If you have a group and you don't want to make it public, but you want to allow your group to see it, you can click on the invite. You can add emails. So I'm going to add my tester email here. And then I'm also going to add my own. And by adding their email, whenever you're done and you click Send Invite, it's actually going to email them and give them the link. And if you put in information in the message, it will give them information about why they're getting it, what they're getting in the email. I also would suggest maybe editing the subject a little bit to make it more clear, especially if it's people that are not sure they're going to be getting it on a committee or in a group. Other options that you have, allow commenting. I had mentioned if you're working on a project and you're doing a presentation and you want to allow others to comment, you want to check that because it will tell them they can comment and they can make comments on your various presentation. And I'll be able to show you that. I do have an example. Also, you can be notified. So you can be notified when someone views it, which is helpful. If you send it to a group, you want to make sure that they got it and that they're actually looking at your presentation. And again, you can allow them to print it and export. You can expire the invitation. So if you have a deadline, you may want to expire it. so they can't go in and make comments anymore. Also, you can allow them to reshare it, so they would be able to share it with others. I'm going to go ahead and send my invite. And when I send my invite, on the bottom here, you will notice there's a little table. And on the left, you'll see what time I sent it. It'll say today, and then tomorrow, if you came in, it would tell you the date and time stamp. It'll tell you the email you sent it to, if it expires. So if you've set an expiration date, it will show in there. And then the last time it was viewed by that person. So this is another good way if you want to come in and see who's viewed your invitation. You can also look in here as well as getting the emails. Another collaboration tool is the Meet tool. You can actually create meetings that allow people that you've requested to come to the meetings to go into the URL and be able to view your presentation. I also would suggest testing and making sure audio works back and forth depending on how you're going to have your meeting. If you create a meeting, you would just put in a meeting name. You would cut and paste the link, and that's what you would send people that you want to come to your meeting, and then you would click on Save. And again, just like the invite, it will keep track for you. It will tell you when you have your meeting, how many people attended, when your meeting started, and when it ended, so you can see how long you worked on that project if you're working with others on your SlideRocket presentation. And then to start the meeting, at the very bottom, it has a Start Meeting button. And as the host of the meeting, if I started it, I will see my presentation on the right, and then I will see the list of attendees on the left-hand side as they come in. So I can monitor and make sure everyone's there that was coming to my meeting. The people attending the meeting will only see your presentation and then hear your voice if the audio is set up. The last option under Share is Playback Settings, and this is how you can set up how you want your presentation to play back. So if you want it to start playing after they click on it, if you want it to advance automatically, you can set how long it stays on each slide. You can also set on the right-hand side the player skin if you want to have a different background color, if you want to allow the navigation bar along the bottom. If you have something that you don't want people to skip through slides, you might want to turn that off. You can also set the resolution for the playback as well. So that's how the sharing works for your presentation. The next tab is Collaborate. So if we click on Collaborate, right now it is set to only me. If I had published it out, I would be able to also share it with everyone in my company. So if I wanted everyone at Case Western to see it, I could do that. I could also collaborate with only the following people and groups. So if I go ahead and type in email addresses on the bottom here, I'm going to type in my own. I'm going to type in my manager and lead, and I'm also going to type in my tester ID. And you'll notice it has a drop down next to each person. So I can allow this person to edit or view only. So if you had a group and you maybe were adding people that are just more for FYI, you can allow them to only view the presentation and they won't be able to edit it or make changes. If you have someone that is going to be able to edit, then they will be able to make changes to your presentation that is shared with them. So I'm going to change this person to view. I would suggest leaving the send email notifications checked so that they do get a notice that you have put them on your collaboration list. And when I'm ready, I can just click Apply Changes. And the email notifications will be sent out to the 3 people that I have, letting them know that they have access to the presentation. The next tab are Analytics. And these are nice because you can see if you have a presentation that you are having a class view or a committee view and it's required, you can actually see an overview of how many people viewed it, how many views they had total. So you have individual people viewing it and then you have total views. You can also look at how long they viewed, which would be your duration. And if you created a presentation that had a form or a poll in it, you would be able to see the results of that form or poll. So what's nice is at the end of your presentation, you can put a poll that said, was this helpful, yes or no? Will you be using this information? And then you would be able to see the results of those forms or polls in this forms or polls section, which I don't have any set up right now for your analytics. There is also an area where you can see this for each presentation, which is on the home screen, which we'll get back to when we're finished with the tabs. The tags allow you to put in tags for the internet searching. The history will show you the history of your presentation. So right now, up here is my current presentation, which has 3 slides. Down here, I have 2 slides, which is the last version that I had. The last one is download, and that is where you can download tools to use with SlideRocket. So if you need Adobe PDF, if you need a PowerPoint file viewer, if you want to use this portable, you can download these features here for your presentation. So I'm going to go back to the home screen now that we've walked through all of the tabs available and give you an idea here. This is the description that I talked about. On the left-hand side, you'll see under summary that I talked about where you can enter a description or a paragraph about it. On this section here, you can see that the presentation's private, so I'm the only one who can see it. If it was public, it would say it's public. It tells me I have 3 collaborators, which are the names and emails I typed in under the collaboration tab. It tells me who created it and who was the last person to edit it, and gives me the timestamp. It says today, so if I looked at this tomorrow, it would give me the date and the timestamp. Here is my analytics summary, and it's going to tell me again the total views, the number of unique viewers, so that's the number of people, the average viewing time. I sent out 2 invitations, so now it has a 2 for invitations. No one has viewed my invitations yet. I have no comments yet, no forms. It'll show me if people reshare it. So this is a nice feature. If you allow resharing, you can track if people have shared it with others and how many times. And then also if it's been exported. And that's where if someone's viewing your presentation and you allow export, on the bottom they will be able to actually download it. So that's what you're allowing, and you'll be able to see how many times it has been exported or downloaded. On the bottom section here, these are just shortcuts to the same tools that we used under share. So if you want to just come in and you're ready to publish, you can just click publish and start right from there instead of going to share and then publish, or share and invite, etc. So that is how we can upload and use a presentation and edit it. I'm actually going to click on the SlideRocket logo. Notice I have 2 presentations, the one that I uploaded and made changes to, and then the one that I had already there. So just to give you an example, I'm going to click on the presentation that was already here so that you can get an idea. This was actually yesterday, so it has yesterday instead of the date. So I think out in the future it will list the date. But you'll notice I've had 3 views by 2 different people. The average time was 53 seconds. I sent 2 invites. Both invites were viewed. I have 3 comments that were entered. I have not had any form poll responses, reshares, or exports. So that's how that little ribbon there works, and it's kind of a nice quick summary. And again, if you want to see more, you can go to your Analytics tab and get the details and graphs on all of those features. So let me go there. So this is what it looks like when there's data. So you can see the details of each session that was viewed. You have a graph that shows you how many views there were. So if you had a lot, you would see a graphing there. You can look at the duration. It will tell you, it looks like someone viewed for 14 seconds on the first slide, 7 seconds, and then 31 seconds for the third slide. I did not use any forms or polls on that presentation, so I don't have any data in that analytical area. So I'm going to go back here. So now the last thing I want to show you is how to actually create a new one. So if you want to go back to the SlideRocket library, I can actually create a new presentation. So I don't have one. I want to create it in SlideRocket. I can just click on New. I'm going to name my presentation. I can create a theme or I can select a theme. So on the bottom here, I had uploaded some PowerPoints that were in the templates for University Marketing Communications, which if you are doing projects for that, I would suggest getting those templates and then uploading them into SlideRocket so that you have them for your presentations for Case Western Reserve. I'm going to go ahead and use this template and click OK. And now it puts me right into the editing tool so that I can go ahead and edit it. It's created a master slide for me. I can put in what I want for my new title. I can move it around. If I want to put information here. I want to insert a new slide. I want to create a poll. Here's where you can create the forms and polls on the bottom left, and it gives you a couple of examples if I want to use checkboxes. And I can just click on there, and then you can type in your information, and it calculates the poll for you. So I want to say yes, and I want to say no. And I can actually delete these. Whoops, deleted my whole thing. But that's how you can create a poll. And then your users will see that, and then they can answer at the end of the presentation, and you'll be able to see those results in your analytics from your poll. I'm going to go ahead and save this so we can see, save my version. And then I'm going to go back to my library. And now you'll see my new presentation, my uploaded, and the one that was there already. So this is my library. I created a folder for SlideRocket. So I want to go ahead and drag one of these there. That works pretty easily. You can just drag and drop it there. So if I go to all items, I'm going to see all three. If I go to those owned by me, I will see all three. If I go to my presentations, I'm only going to see two because I put one of them in my folder. So my presentations are only those that are not in a folder. So just keep that in mind when you're organizing and creating that. When you go to my presentations, you're only going to see the ones that are not in folders. So if you want to keep that as your working folder, and then when they're finished, put them in the folders, that will work too. So that's a good overview of SlideRocket. It has a lot of potential for different things. You can use it for the classroom to collaborate on presentations. You can use it for committee collaboration. You can use it for yourself just to be able to access your presentations anywhere, anytime. So if you have it on a flash drive and on your computer and you get somewhere and it doesn't work, you're going to always have a backup copy if you upload it to SlideRocket. Also, if you use it with Google Drive, you will also have a copy as well. So I'm going to go back to my Connect session. There we go. And I'm going to stop sharing. And I have a couple of questions. We have a few minutes here. Let me go back. Jason Wagman asked, can you export presentations? Yes. You can actually export them out. When you click on the preview button, on the bottom you will see a little print export, and you'll be able to actually download them from SlideRocket, which is also something that if you don't want people doing that with your presentations, you want to make sure you turn that off when you do share. Clara asked, how do I select a user or group? Users would be anyone who is in your contacts or address book or groups that you have set up. So if you're going to invite people, you can use people outside of Case Western Reserve. I have tried that as well, as long as you have an email address. Sarah asked if we can use it like Adobe Captivate to record software simulations. I have not tried that, Sarah, but from the way it looks, you may have to put images in of your software and work with it that way, but you could put the images in and use the recording area to talk about it. But go ahead and try that. I have not tried that. Jason asks if everyone collaborating on the project needs to have SlideRocket. They need to be able to access it. You're going to be sending them a link, so they don't need to have access to SlideRocket. They just need the link that you want them to look at. And I have another question. Robin asks if SlideRocket can handle animations. Robin, I have not tried that, so I am not sure. So I would suggest that you try it out and see. Ron asks, are there distinct advantages in SlideRocket over Google Slides? I don't think so. You might want to try both and see which works best. One thing about SlideRocket is you do get URLs for everything as well, and you can also turn off certain things. So I'm not sure for Google Slides if it works the same. I'm guessing this is a little more robust, but I have not used Google Slides. Gail asked if outside users have to have SlideRocket. No, they just need to have the link to your presentation, and you have to give them access through either inviting them or making it public. So we're out of time today. Thank you for attending. I hope that this was a new tool you might try out. Again, it was a quick overview, so try out some of these things that you've asked that I wasn't sure about and let us know how it works. And again, you can find out more about the Google Apps for Education that we have at help.case.edu and clicking on Google Apps to find a whole list of all the applications. Thank you and have a great day.